Hi, I'm Pauline Fleming from ProactiveBusinessLeadership.com. I'm here to provide answers to your burning questions. And one of the questions I get is, how do you get people to be accountable? Well, one of the biggest accountabilities I really coach around is leadership accountability. Before we can get others to be accountable, we have to be accountable to our true role as business owners and leaders. And one of those things is to follow through on what we say we're going to do, or to have consequences. So if you have an employee or a supplier or somebody who's not following through, that's the accountability you're looking for. Well, what do you need to do? You need to sit down with them and say, hey, we need to talk. This isn't working. That's the first place. Then you need to check in with them as to what can be done over the next week in order to improve on it. And get them to share what they see as possible, and listen for what you believe in them, what you see in them that's possible, where you might be able to support them. Look for opportunities to encourage them, and look for it to be simple, because if it's not simple, they're not going to do it. Then observe for it. Now catch them in the act for the positives, for delivering on it, but do let them know we're going to have a check-in in a week to see how it's going. And in a week you sit down with them again and you let them know what you've noticed. Now, if they're doing great, you acknowledge them for that and you keep them going. But if they're still struggling and they're really only catching 3 of the 10, 7 of the 10, and they're hardly covering their own salary because they're not delivering enough, or they're hardly delivering on their job or showing up, you need to still hone in on that. That's leadership accountability. So this is the second time you sat down with them and you say, it's not working still. What else can we do? What's stopping you from doing this? This is something you said you do and you haven't done it, and honestly, this just isn't working. And they share with you new solutions, and you coach around to figure out what they're going to do for the next week, and you let them know, great, and we'll check in a week again. But by the way, if it's not working, we're going to need to have a different conversation. So come the third week, you're either on the path to them being successful and you being confident in your decision to be able to make a yes or no decision with this individual, or you're at the point to be able to say, you know what, it's not working and it's time to figure out right person, wrong position, where would you like to be? And if it's not with your organization, then to help exit them with dignity and pride, but also that transparency from your side. Now document all this as well through email summaries of your conversation, or whatever you need to do in order to capture that you've had these conversations, and then you're liably covered. And I'm not a legal expert, so do seek out legal advice and cover your liabilities, but this will make it much easier to have those conversations and to get that accountability happening. And again, it's not just their accountability, it's your leadership accountability that helps encourage them. Check into the other sources as well. Do they have all the authority and autonomy and responsibility in order to carry out their accountability? Or are they just expected to get results, but they're relying on so many other things that they don't have in their control? For more tips and answers to your burning questions, check out Proactive Business Leadership.